Unbiased History of Rome, Episode 4, The Conquest of Italy. Been a minute since we got this one. We did forget, but we've jumped back on it because I went through what videos we haven't done. So, we hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get straight into it. If you want to go see bonus content and extended clips, go over to our Patreon, links in the description box down below.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Link for Unbiased History Channel is also in the description. I just can't remember if you did it or not, so I just put it in there anyway.
Nice.
You know,
A bit slower? Fuck off.
I usually take a look at a map of Italy from the 1st century. Gauls to the north, Greeks to the south, and an unholy mix of Etruscans, Umbrians, and Samnites in the middle.
Yep.
Absolutely disgusting. And it is with those fucking Samnites where the wars for Italy's fate would start. They lived in the Apennine Mountains, often raiding the lower plains of Campania and taking cities like Capua. Rome went the extra mile to civilize those savages, but couldn't reach the hill tribes. This disparity was the spark of the First Samnite War. Capua couldn't defend itself, so called in Rome, whom easily broke the Samnite siege, placing a garrison of plebeian soldiers in the city. Yeah, you saw it coming. Capua eventually revolted against Rome, and the pleb soldiers took the opportunity to demand higher pay. Now, it wouldn't have been a problem had it not started a Latin rebellion with it. The Romans were forced to stop the war, rushing back home and crushing the Latins near the Vesuvius, using the Samnites as meat shields at that. If you're asking how the Samnites would be dumb enough to accept this, it is because you haven't met one. With peace restored, the Romans began granting citizenships left and right to the Latins, using them to build colonies further south, even crossing the border with Samnium. They wouldn't stop complaining over it, but the Romans couldn't give two shits about it. And then we have Neapolis, a Greek colony, in case you were wondering why it's such a shit city today. Itching for war, the Samnites went to Neapolis, agitating it to attack the Roman colonies, thus starting the Second Samnite War, getting us to the first Roman hero of today, Quintus Fabius Maximus Rullianus. He led his men to victory in Samnium, while Neapolis fell to Rome, and the consuls led the legions further into enemy territory. Getting so wrecked in the war, the Samnites started pleading for peace, and just before the consuls could respond, they were surrounded, stuck within the Apennine Mountains. The Romans tried carving their way through, but the endless hordes were too much. To save their men's lives, the consuls surrendered. The Samnites relished in their deceitful victory, stripping the Romans of their weapons, walking them under the yoke, and taking their lands. With such a humiliating defeat, it was time for a change. So far, the Romans had used the phalanx, invented by their Trojan ancestors, but it wouldn't do anymore. With the unparalleled intellect of Rome's greatest minds, they substituted the phalanx with the brilliant maniple system. Now, the legions were divided into 120 men-strong maniples, organized sparsely to better navigate rough terrain. In front lay the hastati, the official plebeian meat shields. At the center, the principes, where the experienced patricians put up the real effort, and behind were the veteran triadi, the elite alpha males, used only when truly needed. Now, back in the war, the Romans were attacked by the Etruscans, whom were promptly obliterated by Rullianus. The Samnites in turn were all kicked out of Campania, suing for peace. Real this time. Victorious once more, the Romans cemented their victory by building the Appian Way, a road that led to Rome, the first of many. But success does breed jealousy, lots of it, equally shared by the Samnites, Etruscans, Umbrians, and Gauls, all uniting in a coalition to make Rome burn again. Camillus might not have been around anymore, but you know who was?
It pissed that many people off then.
Scipio Barbatus, the first of many as well. Admittedly, this one didn't do too much. Him and Fulvius did kill some barbarians, but it's the next year's consuls who get the real fame. Back to Flavius Maximus Rullianus and his friend Publius Decius Mus.
I see you. You haven't liked the video yet. Why not? Go on. Go like it. While you're at it, you know you want to subscribe. And if you want to go to our social medias, all the links you need are in the description box down below. And you might as well head over to our Patreon as well, where you can get extra bonus content if you're enjoying this. That link's in the description box down below. But we'll get straight back into the video. Love you guys.
Rullianus did his specialty, devastating the Etruscans, while Decius did the same with Samnium.
Nice.
The war culminated in the Battle of Sentinum, where Decius and Fabius led the legions against the barbarian coalition. The Romans charged furiously at the enemy, barely using their principes. As the battle raged, the left flank began to waver against the ceaseless Gallic spam of chariots, being too cowardly to actually fight on the field. Seeing the danger, Decius led a suicidal charge against them, sacrificing himself to buy time. Given the opportunity, Fabius sent half of the Triadi to save the left flank, and the other half to routed the Samnites. As they fled the field and the Romans set pursuit, Fabius sent the Triadi to surround the Gauls, slaughtering them all, retribution for the sack of Rome, which will only be fully avenged in the centuries to come. Oh, how I wait. Triumphant a third time, Rome annexed all of central Italy, now the master of the peninsula, with two exceptions, those being the Gauls up north, whose time will come, and the Greeks down south in Magna Graecia. The resulting few years of peace ended soon after, for while Rome was mediating a dispute in a Greek city with their navy, Tarentum completely chimped out and attacked them, over some some ancient maritime treaty or some bullshit excuse. Surely, the Greeks in Tarentum weren't stupid enough to deny paying the reparations, right? If you're asking that, it's because you don't know one. Sure enough, war it was, and Tarentum immediately pleaded for help from mainland Greece. Now, I won't waste your time with the utterly insane, shit-flinging mess that was Greek politics by then. Safe to say, there was a kingdom called the Pyrrhus, led by a Greek king named Pyrrhus. He had 20,000 Greeks, 20 Indian war elephants, and nothing to fucking do. So when he heard off he went to Italy. The tricky thing is that Pyrrhus' army was all equipped with top-notch equipment they looted from Trojan ruins, managing to put up a fight with Rome at Heraclea. But once they started to lose, off went Pyrrhus, spamming his elephants until forcing a victory. Yeah, victory. The kind where you suffer massive casualties and can only win by spamming living tanks in a battle. Call it a Pyrrhic victory. Pyrrhus didn't live to his Greek genes though, sacking and genociding every shred of civilization he could on his way to Rome.
Shit.
He took one good look at the Servian walls and fucked off to Ascalon, where he met the Romans again. He was about to lose, but then spammed his elephants and forced a retreat. At least he admitted this time that one more such victory and they were fucked. Maybe that's why he decided to fuck off to Sicily. No one really knows. Killing Greeks was simply much easier, I suppose. He did fight Carthage while over there, but I'll save my hatred towards them for the next video. Once done in Sicily, Pyrrhus decided to sack an Italian temple of Proserpina, Persephone in barbarian speech, sending the ship with the loot home, only for Jupiter to bolt it. Some divine justice at last. After everything that happened, Pyrrhus actually returned to Italy. Maybe he was hoping to force another victory. Victory. His cheese strats were already figured out, getting kicked out back to Greece. Victorious, fourth, fifth time? Yeah, the Latin word counts. A fifth time, Rome annexed the Greek lands of Magna Graecia, now bringing civilization to almost all of Italy. Quite a bloody chapter in Roman history, but you've seen nothing yet. For the next time, we will cover the Punic Wars, where Dido's curse goes into full effect. I'll see you then, plebs. Ciao, ciao.
Nice, and we know a bit about the Punic Wars, so I'm looking forward to seeing how
I will admit his videos
that was much slower.
Much slower.
Yeah,
I understood a lot. I understood a lot more.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
I still remember the first video, and that was incredible.
Oh, it triggered.
It triggered
times.
me, bro.
Yeah. If you haven't already, go over to his channel. That link's in the description box down below.
Great
if you want to go see bonus content, go over to our Patreon. That link's in the description box down below. And of course, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we will catch you in the next video.
Toodle pip. Or if